Okay, what is Source got me doing right now? Well, I'm doing protection for tarot card ladies. I've got various kinds of smoke things. And the archetype is, do you remember on TV show Quantum Leap? There was the guy that went on to be Captain Archer on Star Trek. And the other guy that had the little computerized, it looks like a smartphone in his hand. That guy, that character, a trusted guide. Because he shows up and, you still got to do the work and everything. And sometimes you're like, well, fuck, can't you help me out? But apparently, watching that show is that's not his job. His job is to be your guide through this. Well, if you've got one in your life or whatever. Anyways, but because the tarot card ladies, I've expressed quite a bit of just like annoying, intrusive thoughts going into her tarot card reads. So this is an example of um, spiritual help from, well, it's the same source that brings her to me that brings this to you. Consciousness is the source, and consciousness is the receiver of source. You talk on the old-fashioned landline phone. You've got, you put one end to your ear and one end to your mouth. And if when I was just a little baby, you watch little babies when they're first playing with things and they play with phones. They're first they don't know that one end is for talking into and the other end is for the other thing until they get on the real phone, and then they realize that if you start talking into the earpiece, then they can't hear you. So kids want to listen to somebody on the phone. It's like Alexander Graham Bell, whatever it was. Whether you can go look that up. It was a famous line that's being withheld. So you'll go and do the homework and go look up Alexander Graham Bell and perhaps Marconi and the great debates about who were the first people to invent things like radio and telephones and telegraph and television and 3D movies, Matrix movies, and imposed virtual reality movies, and Pokemon Go, and the future of 4D Earth as transhumanism that gets at some point merged into the idea that really it's somewhat of an interesting plaything, but it's still the same source in and outside of the VR. Well, I don't know, because people want to dive deep into multiverse, but then you run into the homunculus problem, which you have to go and understand because right now it's withheld from me, even though I read the book. But homunculus is in the book The Red Lion, and he is a very strange kind of devil who is, um, he used his whole body to activate his above the head chakras, and then he disassociated himself as a person from his physical human form, and then became the ultimate head case. The mule, as described in Isaac Asimov's sci-fi series, one of the books, I think in the Foundation series, described a Nietzsche Superman with advanced superpowers, and this was shown to you in television's Star Trek, the original series, one of the very first episodes, where Lockwood, who was a senior officer on this exploratory vessel, the Enterprise, in a much more primitive timeline. Because it seems like they changed timelines quite a bit. I don't know, because it seems just so primitive and mechanical, early Star Trek. But anyways, this one person was tested for their psychic ability, and they were off the chart. And they had some electromagnetic disturbance, and then it triggered this guy into a spiritual awakening of some strange superpowers that allowed him to become, off the chart on his psychic abilities, like perhaps Rose the Hat, as shown to us in the movie Doctor Sleep. Yes, Doctor Sleep. So, well, I don't know. In the end, have you not seen Doctor Sleep? Well, if you've seen The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's scary movie from a long time ago, well, Doctor Sleep is the second movie. It's the sequel to it. And it took a long, long, long time in Earth linear years for that to get made. And well, if you want to see like that's another one, But once you've seen them all, once you've seen the evil emperor use electrical blasts at people, and then you've seen Darth Vader do the Force choke, and then I used all those superpowers when I was playing the Star Wars video games back in I don't know 2000 and something maybe. I don't know in those days. Anyways, it's just that once you've gone through so many video games, it's like I don't know. I just stopped being interested in that. And then, then you start wanting to play in the outside world, then you do as much as you can. And if it's all locked down, then, then you got to play in your little closet and, you go back to being a kid. And then, what would you for a kid? And you were my age, 57, and, you're like being attacked by demonic spirits. Well, then you are going to maybe be given by spirit to go and do some, incense burning. And, this is what it is. And the intention is to use traditional spiritual magics, and these would be considered smoke, to support, well, truth. Because yesterday I did a video where I didn't reinforce, I just showed you on camera how you do I am truth. I mean, I am, and you are too. So what is it then the affirmation? It's an affirmation because maybe you've just got confusing thoughts because it's just carnal mind. Can you attribute carnal mind to people? We do incorrectly according to the spiritual teacher Joel S. Goldsmith. Well, because we attribute people's everything, I don't know, it becomes very difficult because it's, which came first, the chicken or the egg article. And then in the end, it's better to just go quiet. Mind. Because mind goes insane like a monkey mind. Because it always wants something to do. So this is something to do. Just something, like us, I don't know. I gotta deal with this the way I gotta deal with it.